Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Film Team. Any hypothetical trades these days are not unrealistic. That used to apply only to potential draft happenings. But in an era wherein teams are trading talented players such as Odell Beckham Jr. and increased player agency has steered the results of free agency and contract extensions, nearly anything seems on the table for the trade market. This offseason should be especially interesting in this regard, with the big name players looking at the free agency or contract impasses and front offices surely willing to move around for what looks like a talented draft class. Here are 7 of the most anticipated and potential offseason moves in the NFL. Number 1. Baltimore Ravens acquire edge Ryan Kerrigan from Washington Redskins. Assuming the Cincinnati Bengals select quarterback Joe Burrow with the number 1 pick, the Washington Redskins will have an opportunity to take a defensive end, Chase Young, at number 2. If that's the case, the Ohio State product would likely line up opposite Montez Sweat in a 2019 first rounder. Washington would have 2 long-term assets at the defensive end, so Ryan Kerrigan may become expendable in the final year of his deal. In 2019, Kerrigan had a modest campaign. Logging a career-low 5.5 sacks at 31 years old, he may have more to offer, but the 9-year pro would probably see his defensive snap count continue to dwindle behind Young and Sweat. The Redskins could attempt to trade Kerrigan for 2020 draft capital, and the Baltimore Ravens seem like an ideal landing spot. Aside from Matt Judon, who is an impending free agent, the Ravens don't have a reliable pass rusher. This past season, Tyus Bauer was second on the team with 5 sacks. He's logged 8.5 in 47 career contests. As a playoff team with specific needs, Baltimore should pursue veterans who could provide an immediate impact in sizable roles. Kerrigan is one of the most underrated pass rushers in the league. In his 2011 rookie term, he's logged 90 sacks, which ranks 4th among all players. Number 2, Redskins send Trent Williams to Browns. Sometimes a predictable trade is the best move of all. The Cleveland Browns need help in the offensive trenches, and the Washington Redskins have a problem in theirs thanks to their impasse with left tackle Trent Williams. Williams has repeatedly said he won't play for the Redskins again, but has 1 year left on his deal. The Redskins reportedly ended up changing their tune about a trade near the deadline, but it was far too late for anything to get done. The offseason offers plenty of time. Washington has presumably hurt itself in any negotiations by waiting so long, and Williams would be at risk for a team such as the Browns based on his age and the fact he's missed so much time. But the upside is what the Browns want too. Williams was a top 10 tackle when healthy and could be again in Cleveland, where the Browns briefly benched starter Greg Robinson and Baker Mayfield has regressed behind a bad line. While this move might not be as large as it would have been in the past, it would still register as one of the bigger moves of the offseason. Number 3, Bengals send AJ Green to Packers. The Cincinnati Bengals decided it wasn't a good idea to act as sellers at the deadline and have won just a single game this season. The team and wideout AJ Green publicly hasn't moved closer to agreeing on an extension. In fact, Tyler Dragon of the Cincinnati Enquirer reported last week the Bengals will franchise tag Green rather than let him slip to the market, which means it's tag and trade time. A team such as the Green Bay Packers should have plenty of interest. The cost isn't going to be too steep because the Bengals have backed themselves into a corner, and Green has missed at least 6 games in 3 of the past 4 seasons. Green's upside is enough to entice the Packers, especially since it means boosting their title chances by getting Aaron Rodgers, a big play threat, to complement Davante Adams, as right now he's the only Packers pass catcher with more than 500 yards. Considering the 2 teams don't share a conference, it would make this easier and further the ambitions of both as they start from very different vantage points this offseason. Number 4, Chris Jones to Raiders.
With 1:41 to go. And Carr.
Overall, the Raiders still need help in the pass rush. The coaching staff can allow Farrell and Crosby to grow as bookend defenders and focus on the interior of the defensive line. In 2018, Jones finished 3rd league-wide in sacks at 15.5. During the 2019 campaign, he missed 3 games with a groin injury, but still recorded 9 sacks and 8 tackles for loss. Those numbers top those of each of the Raiders' interior defenders. Jones will likely cost $18 to $19 million annually, but he's worth the price for a defensive line in need of a stronger push at the line of scrimmage. Number 5, Cam Newton to the Chargers. Chargers can move on from Rivers and bring a huge spark into their new stadium, acquiring a flashy quarterback on the field and at the podium. They'll get a younger resource at the position without having to potentially abandon playoff aspirations in favor of developing an upstart signal caller. Newton would be able to mask pass protection issues if a defensive lineman underperforms or goes down with an injury. That's an added plus in shifting from Rivers, 38, who doesn't have much mobility. Newton has rushed for 4,806 yards and 58 touchdowns over his career.
Cameron Jarrell Newton. Who are you?
Number 6, David Johnson to Buccaneers. The Buccaneers can attempt to pry David Johnson from the Arizona Cardinals. He's been mediocre since his All-Pro 2016 campaign under Arians. Even if the Buccaneers don't make a bold push for Brady, Johnson would add another dimension to their attack. He'd join an offensive that ranked 3rd in scoring in yards in 2019. With a middling defense, Tampa Bay can attempt to outscore opponents or control the clock by using Johnson on the ground. If defensive coordinator Todd Bowles' group comes up with timely stops and turnovers, the Buccaneers may be playoff contenders.
And Johnson showing his stuff here.
Number 7, Jamal Adams to Ravens.
Play action.
Jackson. Ryan again under pressure, and this time he goes down.
The Baltimore Ravens are surely interested in doing anything around Lamar Jackson that helps propel them to a championship victory. It isn't hard to see why the Ravens would want to acquire the New York Jets' elite safety. He's allowed a completion percentage of just 53.9% over the past 2 years, while serving as one of the game's best against the run. Considering the negative vibes between Adams and the Jets, it's safe to presume teams will broach the subject of a trade again. He's still an unaffordable rookie deal, and the Ravens can't ignore the idea of pairing him with Earl Thomas III. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.